Sharia law, an integral part of Islamic jurisprudence, often faces criticism, particularly from non-Muslims who argue it is oppressive, discriminatory, and incompatible with modern principles of human rights. This criticism is frequently directed towards the perceived treatment of women and minorities under Sharia-influenced legal systems. The complexity of Sharia, combined with cultural, historical, and interpretational divergences, makes it a contentious topic demanding nuanced understanding. Central to the criticism is the belief that Sharia law perpetuates gender inequality. Critics note that in many Islamic countries, women face legal barriers in areas such as inheritance, personal autonomy, and marital rights. For example, under certain interpretations of Sharia, a woman's testimony in court may be valued half as much as a man's, and her inheritance rights may fall short compared to male relatives. Such practices are argued to infringe upon the fundamental principle of equality between the sexes. Moreover, the strict dress codes imposed on women in some Islamic countries, justified under Sharia law, are viewed by opponents as a form of subjugation. These codes, such as mandatory hijab or niqab, are seen as limiting personal freedom and reinforcing patriarchal control. Critics argue that compulsory dress codes deny women the right to choose what to wear, portraying them as victims of a rigid, male-dominated societal structure. In addition to gender-related issues, the treatment of religious and ethnic minorities under Sharia law is another focal point of criticism. Non-Muslims in certain Islamic countries may face limitations on religious practices, societal participation, and legal protections. Laws influencing conversions, blasphemy, and the construction of non-Muslim places of worship often create a landscape where minorities feel marginalized or persecuted. Critics argue that these aspects of Sharia law violate international standards of religious freedom and equality. While the concerns raised by critics are significant, it is also crucial to recognize the diversity within Islamic jurisprudence. Sharia law is not monolithic. Its interpretation can vary widely between different cultures and legal traditions. Some Muslim scholars advocate for progressive interpretations that align with contemporary human rights standards, emphasizing inherent principles of justice, compassion, and equality within the Islamic faith. Furthermore, the socio-political context in which Sharia is implemented often influences its application. Some argue that oppressive practices attributed to Sharia law are more reflective of local customs and power structures rather than the core tenets of Islam. Understanding these distinctions is vital in assessing the role of Sharia law in modern societies and fostering an informed dialogue about its place in the global human rights framework. In conclusion, the criticism of Sharia law, especially regarding the treatment of women and minorities, underscores significant concerns about human rights and equality. While it is essential to address and challenge oppressive practices, it is equally important to approach the topic with a recognition of the diversity and complexity within Islamic jurisprudence. Only through informed, respectful dialogue can meaningful progress be achieved in reconciling religious traditions with modern human rights ideals.